Oh. And we are live. Look at that. It's all running lovely, 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 isn't it? Impromptu stream. That's why we're not going to have seen anything go out about it. Because why would I be an intellectual and actually, do this properly? We're Team Incompetent and Incompetent Racing Grand Prix for a reason. Now, if I recall correctly, last we left off was 2 days ago. And we had just finished Season 1, and we've got a bit of money and a bit of resource points. So, we're roughly mid-pack, allegedly. Can we take a look at progress history? Has anyone lost out? No, not by the looks of things. That makes me very upset. I'd actually quite like to have seen some cars maybe drop. But no drama, because we have 2,927 resource points that we can spend frivolously where we like. Now, where do we need to make the most improvements? The powertrain, I think, is one where we could still do something more. I think we could also do more in terms of the chassis and the aerodynamics. But before we do any of that, we need to look at upgrading some of our facilities. Specifically, I want to get the powertrain and the chassis to at least Spec 2. Now, let's maybe look at this. So let's start spending money before we do that. So let's do the build time. I think build time on the powertrain. We do have the resource point generation, but I'm thinking, I mean, we've got 35 million. It's just a small chunk of change. I think we do build time. Drop 5 million there. Splendid. That'll take our powertrain to Spec 2. Now, marketing. I think this could be important. It's literally half my cash. But the acclaim improvement, I think, is going to be very important. So I'm thinking we drop a cool 15 million there. Right, splendid. That leaves us 15 million on the table. We're going to get a... Oh, fitness. That's no money whatsoever. Let's do that. And while we're here, let's do... Let's not do either of those. That's just getting that there. Ignore the durability. We don't care about that. I think on the chassis, we go for resource point generation, Just get it to a Spec 2 level facility. But then what did we do? What did we do over here? Oh, no, that's not that one. We did the build time for the power unit. I feel like I could have done resource point generation. So let's do resource point generation for this one. That leaves us with 8 million, right? So let's sit on that 8 million for a little while, I think. I think that's a good idea. What do I know at the end of the day, right, chat? The weekly running costs have shot up somewhat, but we are also producing some resource points, which is nice. Right, R&D. Do. Where do we develop this car? I still think chassis is where we have the most work to do. Tyre wear. Let's do a major tyre wear upgrade, which will be in place apparently for the Vietnam Grand Prix. Or we could do a minor upgrade, which arrives before the Australian Grand Prix. Let's do that then. Let's get some upgrades before the first race. Lovely. Let's get engine power, I think. Nothing wrong with a bit more engine power. And on here, we could get another drag upgrade. 30 to 55% failure chance. Or we could get some more front downforce. I like front downforce. Let's get front downforce. Some big upgrades coming on the car before the first race then. Look at that. Lovely. Look at all those massive upgrades coming in for the car reveal as well. Let's do some activities. Pre-season driver pressed or pre-season merchandise sale for 1 million. Ooh, lovely. Pre-season advertising campaign. Power, that's 1,000 resource points. We have 14 days before the season. Driver training camp. Oh, that's huge. And that gets us 500 resource points. Do I want to invest in Jack? I don't think I do, because I think I want Lando. Lando's the play. And we're going to go for him mid-season anyway. Right, so let's do the advertising campaign. That gets us... What does this guess? That gets 1,000 resource points as well. That also gets us 1,000 resource points. We're also working on... I think I should go aero and chassis focused, you know. And then let's do the pre-season advertising campaign, or we'll make the money. I don't think I've got an issue making the money. I want the acclaim. So as much as I'd love to do the training camp, we're gonna go for a better driver at mid-season anyway. So there's no real point in me trying to invest that time in Jack Aitken, because we're gonna go for Lando anyway. And then let's do the aero and chassis focus, because the resource points will be good and the department morale will be good. Because I don't really care about the durability at the end of the day. Right, I think that all looks in order. In all honesty. Where did I put the... that's where I put that. Didn't think we were going to stream today, but here we are. What's happened in the past 8 minutes? Neither did I. Neither did I, but it happened. What have you missed in the last 8 minutes? I've sunk in money. Lots of money. I've spent over 20 million of our 35 million that we had in multiple areas. And I've spent the pretty much all the R&D points, and I've assigned the activities. Going to go for the 1,000 resource points, focusing on aero and chassis, because I think that's where we're going to focus on this, like for the car for this bit. And then we're doing a pre-season advertising campaign to get 1,000 team acclaim. Was thinking about doing the driver training camp, but we're still looking at trying to get Lando because we weren't able to pick him up. Post-season, we didn't have the money, so we're going to pick him up. Mid-season. How's it going, Q? I don't care about durability. Simon, just before getting 5 grid penalties for new parts. Yes, but remember Singapore in Season 1, where I got grid penalties and I finished second. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, so we've spent a ton of money. And we're gonna advance the time, and we're gonna do a car reveal. There's personnel upgrade. Oh,
I think we could better manage our time by organising some team activities.
I did organise some team activities. They were done. I don't know why you're complaining, Jeff. But we got some more resource points and some more money. We have 9.4 million. I want to hang on to some of this money. I want to hang on to some of this money. Right. That's that. So we now have 1,000 more resource points. We now have poor morale and durability and powertrain, but that's fine. I'll butter them up with some interview answers. So let's do another aero upgrade. Let's get a rear downforce upgrade on our aero. I think we're already doing 2 chassis ones. We are already doing 2 chassis ones. Lovely. This car's going to be an absolute rocket ship. And now let's reveal the car, shall we? It's time to reveal the sum of our hard work to the world. I'm excited for this one, chat. I'm excited for Australia. It's probably not going to be a long stream. At least for F1. I may or may not have an idea for another stream later on. Yes. Season 2 Incompetent Racing Grand Prix car. I think I still need to, I need to put the sponsors on it. Look at it. It's our new car. I think I've inadvertently gone for the same, livery style as Arrow as well. Just obviously different colours.
This week's income from the sponsors is cleared, and we're making good profit against our running costs.
Beautiful. Wonder where the car is on the grid? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? We are going to find out. Right, look at all of these now. Let's look at our facilities. Right, so there's our aero facility. Now that looks as it did last year. That's our chassis facility. That's now been upgraded. So we've now got 5 people instead of 3. Personnel is, I mean, it's not there yet, but another upgrade will get it there. I'll probably do the simulator to get the pace stat. Powertrain facility is now level 2 as well. So we've actually got Benjamin Daly working on our engine. So I'm a bit scared, not going to lie. Sorry, team. Anyway, let's go to customization and put some sponsors on the vehicle, shall we? I think that's what we need to do. Sponsors. So we've got TriStar, which is our #1 sponsor. I'm thinking about running them black this year. Run the black sponsor. Beautiful, yes. Hold on. So that's on the side pod and on the rear wing. The black contrasts quite... The white contrasts on the gold better, but it then won't show up anywhere else. So Atlantic on the side and on the wing. We need to change the colour. I think this... we want Sunburst there, I think. Beautiful, lovely. Paynite is there, apparently, and there. And then, what's this? This isn't anything. So let's run another TriStar right there. Doesn't quite work, does it? Let's change that again to like a black sort of colour to contrast off the gold quite nicely. And then it appears on the front wing. Yeah, let's put the Paynite in black as well, shall we? Like the black sponsors contrasting off the gold quite nicely. There we are. I actually quite like this car. I think the black sponsors look better. I'm liking the look of this car. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Right. And we have big upgrades coming in before the Australian Grand Prix. Now, I'm hoping, praying, that these actually go on the car. Weekly resources, advertising campaign. Some of them failed. I had the feeling some of them would fail, which is a little upsetting. Both chassis ones went on. I'm not surprised this failed because, well, it will come in before the Bahrain Grand Prix, so that's fine. We could do with some more engine power there, and then this will also come in before the Bahrain Grand Prix. Right, lovely. That's done. Let's look at chassis. So we have a weight distribution, or we have a potential tyre wear upgrade for a minor one, or that's a weight reduction upgrade. Okay, okay, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's save what we've got. I need to sort of, get my powertrain team to come back on board because, I might have upset them a little bit by focusing on other areas of the car. Nonetheless, we have the Australian Grand Prix. What's new here? I'm curious as to we have new helmet, apparently. Oh yeah, we've unlocked some new things because of yeah, the pit lane pass has unlocked me new things apparently, which is all wonderful and stuff, but I don't really want to update them as of yet. I suppose we could go for a new race suit this year. But then again, I quite like the simple one. The simple one doesn't actually upset me that much. Right. Into Australia.
Hope you enjoyed your break.
I did.
The car's come a long way over the last year, and let's continue pushing our performance forward this season.
I agree, Carl. That is a fantastic idea. Right, weather focus looks lovely. Nice and dry and wonderful for the Grand Prix. And Grosjean left the sport. So we have our old teammate from the start of Season 1, Giuliano Alesi, in the Williams. And we have... who took his spot? I think Grosjean or Russell moved to Haas. Russell did move to Haas indeed. Right, so I think we've got nothing more to say other than let's go out on track and let's do these practice programs, shall we? While they're not the most exciting thing in the known universe, they are a necessity, quite frankly. Oh, excuse me. First race win of the season. I have my doubts we'll get a race win. I was talking to my friend Lee yesterday on where he thinks I'm going to get a win. I've said I reckon I'm going to win in Canada because we saw I did quite well there last year. He reckons, I can't remember what Lee said in all honesty, but he seems to think we were only fast because of they were running worn engines at the end of the year, and quite frankly I scoffed at that idea. Anyway, right, we need to get a setup on the car, so let's load the setup from this one. But we need to put some aero on. I think 7.6 in terms of the wings.
To remember about this circuit, the most important braking zone is probably the penultimate corner, T15. It's a very tight left-hander. You will understeer if you take liberties with it, so be careful.
Thanks, Jeff. That's great information. Let's have our first onboard shot of the new car, shall we? Yeah. Oh, look at the black protruding out underneath the halo. I think that looks quite menacing.
Through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Best of luck out there.
God, it feels like only a week ago I was driving the very first car we built around here. Mainly because it was a week ago. But anyway, nonetheless, we charge down towards turn 1 on our track acclimatization run for Australia. That was a screaming child. Of course, remember, we have increased the difficulty. We have, of course, slid wide as well. But we have, of course, increased the difficulty this year up to 100 as opposed to 95 we were running last year. Not quite carrying the speed on exit that I really wanted there, but I realise I have an overtake button and I'm not using it. Then again, it is only practice, that's probably why. Once again, failing on corner exit. Listening to Jeff, making sure we don't take liberties on the throttle. Surprising amount of... Did I not... Apparently I didn't open DRS. Is that a green lap or a purple lap? Oh no, it's purple lap. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Never on stand ups. Usually just use the presets, which actually work better than most people, I think. There's nothing wrong with the presets. The presets are solid, don't get me wrong. Well, it took me 1.3 seconds to activate the DRS. That's disappointing. Like, the presets are solid, don't get me wrong. I just like certain things. Like, I quite enjoy my car to have, like, a very pointy front end and almost like a slightly skittish rear. I find that works best for me. I know one of the things that I've added into my setup for this year is to actually take out some of the pressure, or lower the pressure of the tyres, because tyre heat appears to be quite important in this year's game, from what I'm gathering from the other F1 YouTubers and the esports people. So I'm just thinking, you know, while I'm not mega at the game or anything like that, I just figured it's something worth trying, because hey, if they reckon it does something, then who am I to judge them? They are the people that are quick. The one downside of upping the difficulty is it makes the practice programs harder to hit, but, you know, what can you do? Far too delicate into turn 9, apparently. It's one of the hardest corners. Don't think we're going to do this somehow, chat. I think I've been a bit too conservative in some areas. Then again, the final corner sometimes proves to be quite good for tyre wear. But then again, look. We've absolutely bottled it in the final sector.
We need to pick up the pace. We're not hitting our target. We'll need to rerun the program if we don't get the time delta back in the green.
I'm very friendly with my overtake button on this lap. Right, there we are. Let's really build up our delta. So we can maybe be a little bit more forgiving in the final sector. There we are, because we've lost a lot of time coming out of the final corner, but it's going to be a purple score. Beautiful.
Program complete and a job well done.
Fuel management. Do I reckon I can get that? Do I reckon I can get that? Let's find out, shall we? I spent most of my day while the sort of work around the windows was going on, chat. I spent most of my day watching classic Top Gear, and it's been good going back and watching some of that, because it's some great stuff. Took some liberties with turn 1 there. don't mind if this just ends up being a green score, you know. I mean, you guys know that I don't really, you know, aim to perfect these in any way. Especially when the delta comes down that much through one corner. Yikes, we are slow through that final corner. Oh well, there we go. Remember, if you're having trouble catching up, activate Scenario 7. I would like some extra Scenario 7. If I could just have that injected straight into my bloodstream, that would be phenomenal. Whatever Scenario 7 is, I need some in my life.
Give us some consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into the race strategy.
I bet you want some consistent work you can put into the race strategy, Jeff. It's kind of your whole job. Make it sound important to me. I mean, I kind of care. I'm turning way too late for turn 1. Yes. I'm prepared for the start of the season to maybe not be the best for us, because it was almost like it just started snowballing in Season 1, really. You know, we struggled to start with, and then once we got those first points, it all just started going our way. Not that I now see things currently going our way. It's been a scruffy lap. There we are. I think I need to be a bit more up on my delta than I currently am, knowing how slow we are through the final sector. Look at all the time we've just lost through the final corner. Just through performance. That's insane to me. We're going to find it really hard to overtake into turn 1. We're going to find it very hard to overtake into turn 1. Oh, come on. I thought we weren't going to do it there then, just due to that small mistake. That's insane. The fact I need to be pushing so hard on a race simulation is nuts.
Good job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Stay focused, he says. Easy for you to say, Jeff. You're the one sitting there, getting paid to just shout in my ear. I didn't use any overtake down that straight. Oh, I love sliding wide at turn 9. It's my absolute favourite pastime. Let's maybe, you know. I didn't even try a qualifying pace program, so I think I'm just going to be miles off the pace.
Great lap. You've nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
Jeff is the one that makes the grand incompetent master plan. Jeff is merely a cog in the machine. We are the machine of incompetence. Look at those lap times just plummet. But then again, it does also say I was wearing the tyres quite a lot. Do we dare try a quali sim? Do we dare try a quali sim? Let's do it. Let's try a quali sim. Oh, Jeff, shush.
Okay, this is a quali sim. We've estimated the times our closest rivals will be doing, so that's what we need to beat.
I forgot we've got the Mercedes Donkey this time around, not the Renault. There we go. Attack the curbs. Utilise the runoff. Love missing an apex, and that puts me way down on my delta. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. We're weakest in the final sector. No. No is the answer. Alright, well, we tried. How's it going, Skits? Not much, my dude. Not much. We're first episode of season 2. Jumping straight into it, you know. Trying to do the R&D, but yeah, Australia's not looking too hot for us. Not looking too hot at all. Where's Jack Aitken? That's the real question. Jack Aitken currently 20th. A solid 1.7 seconds slower than me. That's good. That's good. But how's it going, my dude? I appreciate you stopping by. Arrived in the last stream and now you're here again today. We have just hit rank 23 on the podium pass, and we have a new celebration. It looks like we can now take selfies That is some groundbreaking
It's time
content.
to remind ourselves of our top three, who are Bottas, Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc. What an incredible practice session. The fun doesn't stop here, though. Join us again as the rest of the weekend unfolds.
I think 12th is very accurate for where our car stacks up, you know. I think it's very accurate.
Welcome back. I hope you're rested and ready for the new season.
Carl, you've said this before.
I don't think we really got the most out of the team last year.
What?
The car didn't really improve as I would have liked.
You
Let's try and do better this time.
you said earlier this stream that you think we did really well last year and the car came along really... Carl doesn't know what he wants to bang on about. In your team, you're going to drop Jack and get Russell. I'm thinking something similar. I'm going to drop Jack and I'm going to go for Lando Norris mid-season, I think. Get the boy Lando Bot in the team. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait till, like, Austria or Britain or... I think it was Britain. Wasn't it Britain we were able to pick up Aitken before? Team Acclaim actually making some nice progress. Yeah, look at that. Charging towards Team Acclaim level 16. Into quali. I don't really think there's much to say. I mean, we've got some R&D points. So we're already working on 2 for aero. We're not doing anything on the chassis. We're already working on 1 on the powertrain. I think we could do a second one on the powertrain, but then morale's quite low, so I don't really want to do that at the moment. Let's do major weight reduction upgrade. And we'll get that. I don't want to risk the coin flip chance, you know. I'd rather get a mostly guaranteed on the car for Vietnam. Oh, sorry, for China. Because I think, in all honesty, I'm going to do bad at Vietnam regardless. I want to get as many upgrades on the car as possible before the Dutch Grand Prix, because we looked really good there in Season 1. So I'm hoping that we'll do well there again like this year. Like, I'm hoping to naturally just do better in this season because I think the car has developed more. I mean, look, if we get everything on the car that I want, we're going to be, what, the 4th fastest team? Just need a teammate to back me up. Okay. Take some fuel out the car. And let's go out and do as we do. Do our little drive out installation lap. Get the car ready to go. Do I see us qualifying in the top 10? No. But I'm not too worried about that, in all honesty. And no, of course it didn't. I remember saying, wouldn't it be cool if it amended the pit lane order? It hasn't. I'm not surprised it hasn't, in all honesty. I knew, like, that's never something that they've done before in the career mode. So, I doubt, like, I always have my doubt that it would, but you never know with Cody's. I didn't think I'd ever see driver transfers in a Codemasters game. And I didn't think I'd see, like, you know, create a team. But here we are. Makes me then think, what are they going to put in next year's game? I didn't sleep well last night, chat. I got woken up at like 20 past 4. And then fell asleep again. And then I think it was the cat or something woke me up at 5 o'clock. And then I woke up again for like the last time at like 6:30. And I was just like, this is my life now. Right, we're going to let the McLaren driver go past, whoever it is. It is Lando Norris. Let him build a bit of a gap. Right. Brakes are pretty damn cold, but that's fine, because now we're going to go for a lap. Just hopefully we've got the stopping power when we get to turn 1. I think that's one of the big concerns. We've got no traffic, so that's nice. Left a lot of time on the table there. Definitely braked a bit early. Hopped across the curb, which, you know, no real issue there, but... not really troubling that apex in any way. But I am pushing as hard as I can. That's probably why I'm making some mistakes. Or, I don't know really. Definitely some time left on the table on this lap. Not much left on the table through the high-speed chicane. That's always one you want to be attacking as hard as possible. That's attacking turn 15 with a bit too much gusto, like I mentioned. So they've done 20.0s. We are a long way off that. It's a 21.0 from us. That's not that fast. That's like a second off. Some people. That's not good. Where did we lose time other than literally everywhere? Let's bolt on a fresh set of tyres.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:21.
We're losing a bit in the final sector. And a bit... Middle's not dreadful. It's more final sector and first sector. But I know I left some time on the table in the first sector. Thankfully, we're way faster than Giuliano, which is nice. Let's just go out for another lap. Hold on, just make sure, yep, okay, we have got everything where it needs to be. Wow, currently Aitken's faster than me. We can't have that. That's literally something we can't have.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Apparently we set the fastest first sector of anybody in the first sector. That's encouraging. Then we'll slide wide at turn 9 because why wouldn't we? Yes, we were way earlier on the brakes, but look how much of a benefit that had on our delta. Light lift through the middle of the corner, and it's over a 5.5 improvement, and that will put us P11. That's a much better place for us to be. Don't know how much time is left on the table after that lap. So that's the pace Jack might get a P16, P19. I wouldn't be too surprised. He's not, you know, he's not really on pace. 20.0 though, he's not really where I want to be. 19.8 from Leclerc. We apparently had the fastest first sector of anyone with a 26.4. We really nailed it in that first. So this midfield is looking hyper competitive. Aitken with the 21.0. We're still losing a little bit in the middle, which I think is turn 9. And we are still losing a bit in the final sector.
It's pretty quiet out on track. We should consider getting out there.
I mean, we've got one more lap. We may as well bolt on a set of tyres and try again. There's literally no harm in doing it. Right, go. No, and we've immediately butchered turn 1. Hold on, let's maybe try that again, shall we? I was thinking when we did a purple first sector on our first lap. Whatever time I'm due to make up in turn 9, I just threw away in turn 6. That's very frustrating. Not that I found much time in turn 9 anyway.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
No, we're not gonna back out of this one. Not quite what I had in mind, but to be fair, why are we P10? We were P11 before. So what started the lap really solidly with the fastest first sector, we ended up bottling it, pushing too hard, which, you know, is no surprise to anyone that's been here longer than 30 seconds. Everyone going out to do their laps. There goes Hamilton. Let's just keep an eye on this timing board. Does anyone displace us from 10th place?
And with qualifying complete,
12th
let's
place.
review our top 3 today. Leclerc, Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
That Renault is looking very fast. 3rd and 5th for the Renault. We got 12th with a 120.5. I'm not going to be too upset with that. Jack got P17 with a 120.9. And to be fair, for Jack to only be sort of 4/10 slower than us really isn't that bad, considering tail end of last year he was way slower. George Russell, it's not really working out too well for him in the Haas. But he has beat both the Williams of Giuliano Alesi and Nicholas Latifi. Right, before we start the race, I'm going to go grab... This happens every time. I want a drink, and Claire just comes along like...
Would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
My biggest rival... I mean, I'm not going to... Are you joking? Vettel, Leclerc, Bottas, like they're asking, yeah. So are you fighting Ferraris or Mercedes? No, and I'm just gonna say a Lacey because it's funny because he's our old driver. That, and I'll be honest, it's a low difficulty, so it's easy. But I don't see us beating Ferrari. Like, I genuinely don't. I could do with 500 acclaim. It's better than nothing. I am, yes. I feel that the team plays the biggest part. I just drive the car, but you don't, though. You own the team. I'm excited to be this far. It grid gives us the best shot at points.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Right. Now I'm going to go get that drink. Glad to see the team acclaim dropped to 15. That's real good, real great. Right, race is due to be a nice dry one. So, I think not really much to say other than let's get into it, shall we?
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today, as we return to Melbourne for the opening race of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to the Australian Grand Prix. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
I mean, they don't exactly push 100% for long durations in modern F1 anyway. There's a lot of tyre and component saving, you know.
On pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Albon, Esteban Ocon, and Kvyat, Bottas, Verstappen, Sainz, and Sergio Perez. Vettel, the captain, Lance Stroll, and Norris, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Jack Aitken, and Kevin Magnussen, Raikkonen, Russell, Alesi, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out. So
I think I
let's head down
pulled
to the
about
track
everything
and
I
get
could
this
out of that
party
car,
underway.
you know. Right, P12 on the grid. Strategy is softs to hards. We could go mediums to hards. It's apparently only a second slower. And to be fair, we're not going to be starting on fresh soft, so I'd much rather start on fresh medium tyres. Bung a few extra laps of fuel in the car, like I always do. And let's get on with it, shall we? I'm not too worried about starting on that harder tyre than anyone else. You know, well, because I think in Australia last year we had it was a wet start to the Grand Prix. It was a wet start to the Grand Prix. Our very first race was a wet one. So we had that to start the race in Season 1. So we didn't really get a true reflection of our car's race pace in the dry. AI are probably going to look to do one-stop soft to hards. So we look to be one of the few cars actually starting on the medium tyre. So, we'll see. I'm quietly confident about this choice, because that soft tyre can fall away very quickly. Especially those that are starting on a slightly worn set. I need to make sure they are nice and hot, which to be honest they do appear to be. Right, we're going to want an extra crank of front wing in the pit stop for when we run the hard tyre. That's what we always do. We just take our setup from whatever we've been doing over the weekend, add an extra crank when we're on the hard tyres, get that extra pointy front end. No real, and it just seems to work, you know. We didn't run the hard tyre in race conditions last season. I honestly can't remember. It was only a week ago that we did it. I didn't put it up to Rich. Well, rip me. Okay. So we're going to struggle down towards turn 1. I reckon we're on the dirty side of the track. We are on the harder tyre than almost everyone else by the looks of things. Right, let's make sure we actually put it into Rich. Lights are out and away we go. It's not been the best start. Stroll has surged past us, so has Lando. Oh, we're getting absolutely swamped into turn 1. Gasly's gone for a dive bomb. We've had to take to the grass for a slight bit of avoiding action. Giovinazzi pushes past us on the left. Aitken has also started on the medium tyre. We are going to go down the inside of turn 3, try and get both racing point cars. Gasly still has had the best start of everyone in the AlphaTauri. We're trying to hang it around the outside of one of the racing points. It's Stroll, and we've done it. So through a dive bomb into turn 3, we've been able to retain P12. Now, how long can we stay here is the question. Because I think, like I say, we're going to struggle with the tyre disadvantage that we have. But unlike the start of Season 1, we're not going to be at a power disadvantage, hopefully, because we have the Mercedes engine. I find it very interesting you get to keep your powertrain developments even if you change engine supplier. Okay. Running wide into turn 1, that's not going to do us any favours. In fact, it's really put us on the back foot against Lance Stroll. We're going to try and remain ahead of the racing point into turn 3. Push him out wide, hang him out to dry. We saw last year that when all the cars are on the hard tyre, our car reacted to it better than other cars. So what I'm hoping is that's the case again in Season 2. And because we'll be on fresher hard tyres, come the end of this race, we'll be able to, as we do our first bit of corner cutting, the front end really turned in more than I anticipated it there. I'll be hoping we can make some moves later on in the Grand Prix. But right now it's about managing our pace, managing our managing our everything really as Norris gets past
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are
Sergio Perez. We've braked way too early into turn 1. I've been using my overtake button down the pit straight. Right, so let's turn the engine down now. So I don't want to burn off all my extra fuel like immediately. Oh, why is there a yellow flag? Why, oh why? It looks like a Renault. Esteban Ocon has blown up and we can't, of course, overtake because of the yellow flag. There is now a green flag and we're positioned around the outside of Gasly and we've made the best of that situation. And Ocon, from a very solid starting position, has had to retire. Now Gasly's back up our inside into the far chicane. Can we hold it around the outside? Yes, we can, as a matter of fact. And we've got DRS to pull away.
use your overtake button more, it's time to utilise some of this energy.
I will indeed look to utilise some of the energy. P12 coming in clutch. Do I feel the new difficulty suits the car better? I do, as a matter of fact, yes. I think it feels more where we should be. But right now, my driving is not helping out with the car. We have Gasly trying to go to the outside. Ideally, I want to be trying to stay with the cars ahead. But we are currently losing ground and we're at the head of a bit of a train if we're realistic here. So we could potentially be undercut by a lot of cars. But like I've sort of mentioned already, Gasly.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
I don't think this pace deficit, in all honesty, is all down to tyre advantage. I think there's something still not quite where it needs to be with the car, as I'm still overcooking it into turn 1. Here comes Gasly again. He's got a very good run on us this time. He's been able to send it up the inside. We're going to try and hold it around the outside, which we do successfully. But this squabbling is losing me time to the pack ahead. So let's bump it back up to Rich, start burning some more fuel. Not troubling the apex of turn 9 in the slightest. Right, Gasly's not going to get the inside into this corner this time around.
Gap to the car in front is 5.7 seconds.
Oh, car felt a bit twitchy through there. Much like the start of races at the end of last year, the car doesn't feel great with the heavy fuel on it. Thankfully, we do appear to be dropping the Williams. I'm also dropping the car. Clearly, I'm braking too early for turn 6. Because I've been taken to the grass every lap. Gasly's looking very racy. I think I'm holding him up a little bit. I might be holding up this whole train in all actuality, but eventually their soft tyre will start falling away. Personal best. And all I really need is their soft tyre to start falling away. As Gasly tries it again, round the outside. The problem is they're of course going to be able to be in the pits first. For whatever tyre they go to for their second stint, be it the mediums or the hards. I hope it's the hard tyre in all honesty.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.1 seconds.
Gasly could have us into turn 1 here. He thinks against it. Oh, he's got a very good run. He's pretty much made the move stick. We're going to go up the inside though. It's almost like Gasly is now being punished for the great starts of the race that he had. I need their tyre to start falling away like now. Because they're getting a little bit too competitive for my liking. Like that whole train. This is from 10th back to like 20th. And that phrase I used a lot in Season 1 about a cork in the bottle. Well, the cork in the bottle is me. Remember that Aitken is running the same strategy as me. Gasly not as close this time around, which is nice.
We're leading our teammate by 3.4 seconds.
I think we can save some battery this time around because he doesn't appear to be able to challenge us down into turn 3, which is nice. How are we looking in terms of tyre wear? We're in the 30%, so that soft tyre surely should be going away any minute now as we once again get it all crossed up through turn 6. If you expect my grip levels to start falling away, what's going on with the AI's grip levels? Because they ain't lost anything. Cars are in the pits, and they are fitting the hard tyre. That's music to my ears, that they're not going to be on a softer compound than me for the whole race. Personal best on a set of tyres that are 9 laps old. Oh, we've got it all wrong on that exit. And we've got it terribly wrong there. Gasly's going to have a good run at us into turn 9. Oh, he's going to have a very good run at us, actually. Leaving the space on the inside. Didn't really have much room to accelerate. If he'd been patient, might have had a better chance. Right, they could now undercut us. And this is potentially where the problem comes in the fact that we are going to extend this stint a little bit. But our hards will be in better shape by a couple of laps come the end of the race. Let's see if we can set personal bests just for the next couple of laps. Just to kind of we took some liberties there. We took some real liberties there. This is going to be a personal best lap of the race. By some margin as well, about 4 tenths. Gone deep into 3. Probably going to go into the negative on fuel. But in all honesty, that doesn't bother me too much. Now, I think Stroll is trying to extend this to be able to go to mediums to the end of the race, in all honesty. And I don't think that's working for him because these tyres have really started to fall away. Albon is in the pits. We are going to lead this motor race. And we are coming in at the end of this lap. Where's the fuel situation? Right, so we're slightly in the negative. We're going to leave it in rich for this lap. Some cars have been able to fit the medium. Ricardo has fit the medium. And he is a net P2 at the moment.
His tyres are in much better condition than yours. We'll keep an eye on the times.
Not too worried about Leclerc, in all honesty. Our second occasion of corner cutting this Grand Prix. And we have definitely made a couple of mistakes. It's been a very sloppy in-lap, if we're honest. And then we've apparently sped in the pit lane, even though it said 37 miles an hour when I crossed the line. But you know what? Whatever. That's incredibly frustrating. Why is Jack coming the same lap as us?
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres?
And the pit strategy has worked, because there is Pierre Gasly. And we are out ahead of the Frenchman, but annoyingly we have a 5-second penalty, even though we were at the exact speed of the pit lane, and I've driven the car horrifically there, allowing Gasly to catch back up to me. I don't know why, it was like my rhythm was broken. So in this last stint, we're going to need to try and... We're going to need to try and pull away in this last stint. And I don't know if we can. We need to try and break Gasly's DRS as soon as possible. Because right now, we're on for a point. But if we don't pull out 5 seconds, we won't get that point.
You might want to consider switching to a lower fuel mix. You may not finish on the current settings.
No, I definitely won't finish on the current settings, Jeff. But nonetheless, we'll worry about that later on.
Gap to car in front is 6.5 seconds.
We need to break that second to Gasly. That's all we need to do. And you won't be getting that DRS assistance.
Some information on Norris. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of
Oh no, Lando. Lando's got a problem. That actually makes me genuinely upset, you know. I feel like if we had driven better that lap, we would have actually pulled out the time versus Gasly. Personal best from us. ever so slightly just sticking with my DRS, and it's so frustrating. Being able to sabotage other teams, now that'd be funny. What was that whole thing with McLaren and Ferrari, like, many years ago? Spygate? That'd be cool. Yeah, my team. You've got, like, Rogue Action Squadron. Norris battling Stroll. To be honest, they are just costing each other time. Another personal best.
It is 5.4 seconds.
I wish I was decent at turn 9, I really do. I don't think Gasly got DRS there. No, he won't have done. Right, I think we've officially broken Gasly's DRS. Someone would just delete Lewis Hamilton's gearbox every race if there was sabotage. Yeah, I would just, like, Lewis just doesn't have a gearbox. Yep, no, I deserve that. I deserve that. That was me attacking the corner way too hard, and now I have 8 seconds worth of penalties.
We've been awarded a time penalty. It'll go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
I don't know why. I was looking at the message in chat, and I just thought it was later than it was. I turned in, and I was way too committed to be able to turn out, and now I'm just driving sloppily. I put so much effort in to break Gasly's DRS to try and pull away from him. And I've driven so badly that I've just allowed him to get back in it. Because he's now going to have DRS down this straight. Annoyingly, I was also only about 5 seconds behind from the cars actually up the road, like Sainz and Kvyat. I was closing them down quite nicely.
Let's keep pushing. The gap between you and the next car is 6 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to close it down, Jeff, for some reason. I also need to save fuel at some point. I'll run the last couple laps in lean. Excellent. Now imagine if we didn't have those penalties. We'd be on for point. I was going to say points, and then I remembered, well, we are P10. It's only a point. So the sentence there, you know, should have been for a point. Words are difficult, chat. Especially when driving. I want to start saving some ERS. I don't know why I want to start saving ERS. I am getting very close to more corner cutting. And just in case a car ahead of me retires, you know, I'd like to keep a bit of a gap to that gaggle of cars that is behind Gasly. I think the new difficulty is reflective of where the car is, though. Especially with the R&D as well. Wish I was somewhat decent out of turn 9, that'd be nice. Power! There we are. But it looks like it's going to be P11, because I don't think I'm pulling 8 seconds on Pierre, in all honesty. As nice as it would be, don't think I've got the pace to be able to pull that time on him.
Target -1. Let's turn the engine down, please.
Yeah, we will, don't worry. Eight-second penalties, you might as well slam Gasly in and retire. As fun as that would be,
till the end of the race.
oh, here we go. Should we set up some bingo for this My Team mode? Jeff crying about tyres, that can be one. Me corner cutting, me speeding in the pit lane. To be fair, I've only sped in the pit lane twice. And that speeding in the pit lane one was bogus. It said I was doing 37, but it was in red, so it was like, oh, that was 37.6 miles an hour. We need to round that up. Therefore, you were speeding in the pit lane. Oh, yes, penalise. If it's just a corner cutting penalty, then I might actually be able to, like, you know, pull ahead of Gasly, because we're nearly 3 seconds ahead of him now. I do need to save fuel at some point, though. We need to turn the car down.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
But that time is not yet. Turn the car down when I'm good and ready.
Our gap to the car in front is 7.0 seconds. Gap to teammate behind is 26.
Oh, Aitken. Aitken, you were looking solid in the first stint. What happened? I mean, we're lapping consistently. That lap was nearly a personal best. It was within a tenth of it. Anyway, let's turn the car down now. Pop it into lane. We're not going to pull the 8 seconds on Gasly that we need. We've pulled a bit on him, don't get me wrong. But we'd need to get 4 more seconds in, well, 5 laps. Let's be honest, I don't think that's happening. What I'm hoping to see after this race is Daniel Ricciardo on the podium. Just realised that we were 10th before the stops. Oh no, we were 10th before the stops when Ocon retired. I was thinking we might have lost another spot, but we definitely haven't. I'm just yammering. We won't have to go lean for the rest of the race, which is nice. We'll only have to go lean for a little bit. Just a couple laps, just to get us, you know, into the point where we'll tick over. Back onto standard. 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And as much as I'd love to sit and say, chat, that it's going to be a point, our penalty's going to knock us back behind Pierre Gasly. But we're well ahead of Giuliano Alesi. That is a small positive we can take from this experience.
Okay, gap ahead is 8.9 seconds.
And the car feels pretty good, you know.
Issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. We're leading our teammate by 29.7 seconds.
Oh, we've gone back into the negative. How has that happened? I was very quiet for a little bit there. I just got into the zone of driving and then was like, wait, hold on. I'm streaming. Gasly's coming back at me. It really doesn't matter, though. This is where the AI wind up and all try and do the fastest lap. We now go wide. We're actually coming up to lap on the Williams. I don't think we're quite going to manage it. Please tell me it's a Lacey. Please tell me it's a Lacey. Be like, congratulations. You made it back to F1 with another team. Don't know why Williams didn't take the freeze. He's so much faster. Which then will beg the question, why didn't I take the freeze? Well, you know. Will it be Latifi? Oh no.
Gap to car in front is 9.1 seconds.
Oh, we have become a lawnmower this lap. Oh dear, chap. Well, all in all, not a bad race. I think new difficulty of 100. I think car feels good. And it is a Lacey. Charles Leclerc wins the first race of the season for Ferrari. And we nearly lapped Giuliano Alesi, our old teammate. But still, we're going to cross the line P10. It's going to go to P11. I'm actually not too upset by that, you know. I think that is, I think that's solid. From a pace point of view, we did alright.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari. Let's see what effect this result has had on the driver's standings. And with today's impressive result, Charles Leclerc steps into the championship lead. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in.
I think we did okay. I did get a little distracted at points. Yes, I did get a bit distracted on certain things and definitely made a few mistakes. But hey, look, if we drove it perfectly, then we haven't done our job. Right? Right? We're supposed to be easing the perfection. I don't want to drive the perfect race. So we did okay. We finished higher than where we qualified. And that, to me, is a success. Daniel Ricciardo with P2 in the Renault, which easily could have been a double points finish for them had Esteban Ocon not retired. But anyway, let's finish up all the flim-flam.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Did you have the wrong fuel strategy today, or was it your management?
I miscalculated and ran in metrics for too long. I'd rather be honest, right? You know? Exactly. We should set some Nuzlocke type rules. F1 Nuzlocke. Do you remember? I want to. Sure. I was going to try and say something about the power unit, but I couldn't. It said about durability, but you know. Nuzlocke rules. Do you remember? And I can't remember if you were a part of Zombies crew back in the day, but we ran like Nuzlocke style rules playing Call of Duty Zombies, where you could only use the box once, and whatever gun it was the gun you had to go with. Oh, is it going to drop again? What is going on with our acclaim? I'm so confused. I mean, we got the money, so you know I can't really complain there. There's our money coming in. Renew sponsors for Pay Night and Atlantic. Do you know what? I don't even really see the point in trying to go for other sponsors. I think they are good ones, you know, answering interview questions and just doing laps. I'm just going to renew those sponsors. Right, we have 2 days until the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's do a sponsor. Sure, why not? We are only going to be doing the one race at this stream, guys. Like I say, I've got a few more bits that I want to do. I might stream something else a little bit later on. But we're just going to do the one race this stream. I'm actually going back to work next week. So it will kind of be one of those things where we're going to transition to like one race per stream anyway. But for today, one race. Might be back live later. Keep an eye on Twitter. Alternatively on the Discord if you are in there. Twitter handle is down below. Link to the Discord again down below. But car felt good. New difficulty felt okay. We've just got to get through these first few races, which I think aren't my strong suit, and then we can really get back to scoring some points. But thank you for those that came out once again. Do really, really appreciate it. Consider dropping a like on the stream, which of course will be on demand. Look, our woman got some friends. She's got We spent a lot of money. We blew all of our resource points and most of our money in this stream. There's the durability department, but we don't care about any of them. So, but yeah, thank you once again, guys, for coming out and enjoying the content that I've been putting out in regards to F1 2020. Might see you later. Might see you another day. Who knows? All I do know is that I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.